Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today's video is going to be all about what I've melted for the week, so all of my empties and then all of the stuff I didn't empty. And yeah, I'll get stuck straight into it. So I managed to empty one clamshell. God, my brain's not working. Obscurus, so it's a brand, an Australian brand by Femme Fatale Cosmetics. It used to be, she was Obscurus and now she's doing wax under a line called Minty Bean. Pazuzu, so incense, bourbon on ice, amber, vanilla, dampened rose, and whispers of last rites. It smells really good. To me, it's kind of an incense. I think it's got dragon's blood and then a bit of rose and some other stuff through quite strongly. So some of her wax I found dies off kind of after once it hits about the 12-month mark. This one's October 18 and it was still performing pretty well. It was a really nice scent. Her wax is a bit on the expensive side, so I don't know if I'd pay full price for it or anything, but I'd be happy to have more of it in the house to melt. Then I melted Destination Wax Lady Grey, so a blend of black teas infused with a hint of bergamot oil and lemon peel, so from November. This is so good. Like, this is, imagine the best Earl Grey tea that you've ever smelled, and that's it. Like, it's just that bergamot and lemon that just make it, like, I mean, all Earl Grey scents have that, but this really just goes next level. It threw really strongly for about 6 hours. I will say that most of the Destination wax I've tried so far, I've tried a few shots. It does seem to die off in my warmers at about the 6 hour mark. So it'll perform really strongly sort of for 4 to 5 hours, then to peter off, and then at 6 hours it's really faint. That's not a deal breaker. I will still buy Destination wax, but it's just something I'm conscious of, that it doesn't seem to, so far it hasn't seemed to perform, for long stretches, which I would like, but I'll take what I can get. Next I have Swanky Orange Tea and Crumpets. This scent is amazing. It's like, it's orange and tea, mostly, like a fruity tea. But it is a tea. Like, I'm not talking like an iced tea or something, like a proper black tea with like orange essence or something, with a little bit of crumpets, sort of like a creamy bakery in the background. Threw really strongly, threw for a long time. Absolutely loved it. Without going into too much detail, there has been a little bit of drama around this particular brand on Facebook this week, and I was a bit disappointed in the owner's response to it, I have to say. So I don't know if I'll be repurchasing from Swanky. I'm not going to get into it here, but I don't know if I'll be repurchasing from that brand, but I would definitely repurchase this scent if another vendor happened to get it, because it smells so good. I do have one more shot cup of that. Then I have Empire Alchemy Mangonada. So mangoes, peach, lemon, orange, and chili pepper. This is actually melting out in my kitchen, in my lounge room at the moment. And I love it. It's got, you can really smell the chili pepper in it, and the peach and the lemon and orange. Like, it's not a very mango-esque scent to me at all. It's throwing at kind of a medium-ish level, medium to high. Like, you can smell it. It's just not, it's not super strong. Would I repurchase? Maybe. I am enjoying it. I don't know if it's one that I desperately want to have again. All right, I'll keep going through my shot cups. So also melting, no, not at the moment. This was on this morning. So Ebony Violet, St. Louis Girls Be Like. So this is lemons, sugared vanilla, raspberries, plums, and strawberries. I really enjoyed this. I think this one reminds me, it's mostly like a lemon and sugar. But I melted lemon sugar from Dessa's Homespun Scents last week. And this is kind of like what I would have liked that Dessa's to be. Like, it's a much lighter, that one was kind of, it was just strong and overpowering with it. This, I think, because it's got the vanilla and the berries and the plums just there in the background to brighten it up a little bit. So it's really fun, really nice scent. through at sort of a medium to high level for a good sort of 8 hours. So I might repurchase that one, maybe. Maple and Wattle, Utopia. I haven't put this one up on Instagram yet, so I can't remember the scent notes. But this one came across as quite a candy scent to me. Beg my pardon. Excuse me. So yeah, it was quite enjoyable, and it was actually throwing quite strongly and for quite a while. I don't know if I'd repurchase it. I've got other sort of there's so many scents from Maple and Wattle that I love. Some of them, yeah. It's possible. I order from her a lot, so it's possible I might throw in a shot pot occasionally, but I wouldn't buy it in big quantities. Then Hunter Valley. So this one I think is Chardonnay and fruits, also Maple and Wattle, and I really enjoyed this one. Again, good kind of high, bordering up to high throw, and through for quite a while. You know, it's probably not quite my type of scent, so I'm not sure if I would repurchase it, but I did enjoy melting it. Then a sample from Teddy B, so Campfire Stories. This one is like s'mores, cold winter winds, and maybe vanilla. It is amazing. This is like one of my all-time favorite kind of marshmallow, campfire, s'mores kind of blends. Like, I've not smelled anything as good as this, and it was really strong. It threw really strongly and for a long time. So I definitely, as soon if she has that in a ready to ship or a pre-order, I will be grabbing a loaf or like a mini. She does those mini loaves. That's a good size for me. I definitely will be getting more. That is a phenomenal scent. From Kay, I melted blackberry sugared violets. So I did this. I also did Swanky's blackberry sugary violets at the same time. This one, I'll talk about them both, I suppose. So I've still got, it's in my non-empties because I still got half of a shot left of that one. So they were very similar, I would say. I think that the Swanky one is maybe slightly sweeter, like more on the sugary. And the K one I think was more on the like on the blackberry and the like, just a little bit, just a slight tartness to it. And a slightly more floral as well, but very similar. I think the K1 threw a little bit more better. So yeah, based on that, if I was getting this scent again solo, I'm not sure if I will. I think I'll pick it up in blends. A lot of vendors tend to blend with it. Like, it is quite a few vendors I think are working with this scent, but at least I know if I want to get this again, if I'm not purchasing from this vendor, I can get it from Kay, and it is really quite pretty, and maybe I can blend with it in the future. So there's that one. I'll pop that one. I'll put it there, even though it's not empty. So more empties. So 2 shots of this one, Mists of Avalon. So this is another Maple and Wattle scent. This one I think is blue cypress, patchouli, and something else, and it was a very nice kind of sort of, it is definitely an earthy scent, but it's got a gentle kind of sweet floral element to it. It is really nice. I don't know, yeah, I think it threw at about a medium. It was okay, like it was nice enough. I'm not sure if it was one that I'm really like that enthusiastic about to get again, but it was enjoyable while it was in there. This one, so the bag is just a mess, but here's the label. So I melted to the last of this House of Melts, who I'm devastated. She's closing down her business. So funfetti, it was a donut, like donut shaped wax, buttercream birthday cake, with goji berries, blueberries, raspberries, cotton candy, vanilla, and sweet sponge sugar. I really, really enjoyed this one. Like, you kind of get it's just like, to me, it's like a creamy berry scent. It doesn't come across as super birthday cake-ish. And it was really enjoyable. Good through for a long time. If she was still open, yes, I would probably repurchase this. I actually quite enjoyed it. Then I emptied from Ebony Violet Simplicity, so sweet bakery dough and pink sugar. This one is quite a simple blend. Like it's a fairly basic bakery, and there's definitely, you get the pink sugar as well. Like there's no major kind of competing notes or any kind of complexity to it. It just is what it is. For me, this one sort of probably through at the medium level. It's not a super, it is present, like you can smell it, but it's not like a super strong scent. I've enjoyed it. I probably won't repurchase it, partly because a bit more throw, and also because, yeah, I don't know, like it's nice, but just not one I feel the need to repurchase. Sorry, just grabbing the rest of my empties. So I melted this sample Super Tarts Hodor. So Hodor is fresh eucalyptus, ivy, and vanilla, just vanilla bean, I think, or vanilla. Anyway, in the bag here, and when it first goes in, you do kind of get hit with the in the bag. Actually, on cold. So right now, I'm getting equal parts vanilla and eucalyptus, so it's a bit weird. On warm, it kind of was a bit strong at first on the eucalyptus, and I'm not a huge eucalyptus fan, but then it mellowed pretty quickly actually into a really nice sort of slightly creamy and fresh air scent. So I actually did enjoy this one in the end, and it lasted quite a while. Not one I would repurchase because it is just that little bit too strong, particularly at the start on the eucalyptus. But you know, considering my position on eucalyptus, I actually, didn't hate it. It was okay. Then I did, so this sample, so I went through a few samples this week. So Dessa's Cranberry Skillet Cornbread. This one, look, I've realised now that sort of cornbread on its own is, I can see why some people think it's similar to zucchini bread. But it's a lot less sweet. It's definitely like a more kind of savoury bread. Now, her cranberry is a very tart. There is no sweetness to that cranberry at all. I've had it in other blends, and it's kind of, it's almost sour to my nose. Like it kind of turned me off cranberry until I found some sweeter cranberry scents in certain vendors, and I'm still not a huge cranberry person, but I can tolerate it if it's sweeter. But yeah, hers to my nose, it's sour, and with the cornbread being a not sweet bakery, it just needed some sweetness to it. So I'll probably be able to do her cornbread in other blends with something sweeter. But definitely not with this cranberry. So it threw really strongly, really strong performer, but yeah, definitely not something I would get again. I didn't really enjoy it. Accidents, driftwood, beechwood vetiver, and creamy coconut. So this was a sample extra that I got in my last order, and it smells amazing. I really love, so beechwood vetiver is this, I have to figure out a way to describe it, like, I still haven't got my head around how to convey what it smells like. In some ways it reminds me almost like a tartar cotton candy, but it doesn't. There is a sweetness to it, but I don't know. It's so good, and driftwood and creamy coconut were perfect pairs for it. So I think I will definitely get more quantity of this, and potentially even do a bit more blending with her beechwood vetiver. It's the same beechwood vetiver scent as I've seen Super Tarts use, and it's really good for both of them. So I'll be keeping an eye out for more blends with that in it. And then the last empty, Maple Immortal Bitchin'. So this was from her Stranger Things sampler. I think it was meant to be like tight leather pants and feminine florals. And it was really nice. It was really pretty, like, yes, you could tell the leather was there, but it was quite subtle. It was more sort of floral, but it just gave it that kind of different undertone. I think it threw sort of just above, a notch above medium. You could definitely smell it, but it wasn't super strong. if I could get it to throw stronger, I would repurchase it. But on that that sort of throw level, probably not. Okay, that is all of the empties. So now, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit of space. Let's go through the things that I didn't empty. So here's one. So I mentioned that Obscurus, she rebranded into a brand called Minty Bean. So she had a 30% off sale not long ago, and I decided to pick some up because I just wanted to. Her wax is quite expensive, but I just wanted to see what it was about. So this was initially a cupcake. It was quite pretty. Lots of multicolored and stuff. It pretty much exploded as soon as I tried to cut it. So that's why it's in this bag in a bunch of pieces. So the wax that she's used, so because she did multiple layers in that colored, multiple colored layers in the cupcake, they didn't hold together very well. And yeah, it just kind of fell apart. Like, I don't think microwaving it or anything would have stopped it from happening, if that makes sense. She also wrapped it in she shrink wrapped it, which is not super handy for, if you've got something that you're going to melt more than once. So I had to rebag it, and so I just used the sampler bag that this came in, because I don't actually have any bags at the moment. So the scent is Candy Pale, which is lemon sherbet, orange frogs, watermelon lollipops, apple slices, and strawberry pop. I was pretty disappointed because, look, her Obscurus brand, for me, threw pretty well. Like, it died off a bit. It probably started to die off once the wax hit the 12-month mark, but most of her wax, at least when it was new, threw pretty well. Like, I didn't have any throw issues. This one at best was light, and to be honest, for quite a while to start with, I had nothing. So yeah, based on that, I wouldn't repurchase, and I don't think I would repurchase from this brand. Maybe if she goes back to sort of her old wax formula and her clamshells, maybe. But yeah, for the price and for not worth it for me. I'm not sure. I might try just throwing the rest of that all in a warmer and just see if that makes a difference. So some some empties. Fuss too much. Alright, so a few clamshells that I melted. So Torch from Super Tarts. So Tonka, Beechwood Vetiver, Pink Berries, and Caramelized Figs. I've mentioned Beechwood Vetiver is my favourite. And this one's really good. I think the caramelized figs and berries and stuff do come on a little bit stronger because it is quite a sweetened blend. But it's not like a fruity blend. And the Beechwood Vetiver just gives that kind of interesting. It's kind of outdoorsy, but it's kind of not. Like, I still have to figure out a way. If someone has a good way to describe Beechwood Vetiver, let me know in the comments. But yeah, no, I've got 2 clams of this, so it'll last me a while because I only use 1 cube per warmer. But I'd be happy to keep repurchasing and owning this one after I'm done with it. I also melted, so earlier today I melted some Blair Witch from Super Tarts. So that's fall leaves, lemon, marshmallow, cream, and a hint of salted caramel. This one I like. It's a good one if you can't decide whether you want like a outdoorsy kind of leaves blend or a bakery, or more kind of foodie, because it's not so much bakery, but it's definitely, you can definitely smell the leaves, you can definitely smell the lemon and the marshmallow cream. Caramel, it's probably there, but kind of in the background. It's more kind of a lemon food, like a lemon dessert and leaves. And I quite enjoy it. It performs really well, like all my Super Tarts does. I don't know if I would repurchase it again. Like, I like it. I don't know if I like it enough, but I'll I'll enjoy the cubes that I have. So, it is a nice blend. It is good for those times you can't decide. Retail wax. I almost pretty much never melt retail wax. So this one is. I just don't have the space here. So Life Scents, so from Airwick, Winter Moments, which is baked pear, pie crust, and vanilla. I was cleaning up my wax collection the other day and I found these and I remembered how much I enjoy them. It is a beautiful pear and pie, like a pear pie. Like, it really does remind me of like an apple pie, but with pear instead of apple, but it's got that similar kind of tone. This still, like, I've had this for over a year now and it's still throwing really well, still performs really well. I've got 2 clans of it, so I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way. I kind of hunted down a few. In fact, I think I've got 3. One of the very first wax melts I ever bought, and I kind of hunted down a bunch, and then I got into vendor wax and sort of not forgot, but sort of just went, oh, I'm not going to melt those, but I actually really enjoy it. So I probably don't need more than the quantity that I have, but where I was actually contemplating on like turfing most of my Life Scent stuff, because I've had a few other ones that I didn't like the scent of. They were just too abrasive or whatever. But that one in particular, I think I will quite happily melt my way through. I also melted this week Ebony Violet Asian Sandalwood. So woodsy, it's a woodsy scent softened with jasmine and citrus, accentuated by golden amber and vanilla bean. So this one was really nostalgic for me. I feel like there was an Oriental Avon perfume in like the 90s, and I feel like this smells just like it. Like, it's quite a heady floral and sandalwood, and yeah, it just like a cold Oriental or something along those lines. Like, it's just bringing back glimpses of memories of things. So yeah, it was quite a strong throw. And I liked it. I don't think I will repurchase it, but you know, I kind of enjoyed like the nostalgic kind of kickback on that one. Also melted, so first time trying Sniff My Tarts. So birthday cake, lemon cheesecake, lemon meringue pie, and peaches and cream. This one kind of made me think of, again, a nostalgic kind of thing. Like, it kind of smells like, still getting this, like, I feel like I remember there was a dessert from when I was a kid, and it smelled like this warm as well, and it smelled like, it was like I kind of like a cream cheese or cheesecake kind of thing with like bits of not real peach, like kind of artificial. I'm really struggling, but that's kind of what it smelled like. Like, it's reminding me of that. I will say, and I don't actually know because I got this in a flash sale not long ago, and I'm not sure when it was poured because I haven't really followed the brand closely enough to know how they work and whether the flash sale stuff is from recent customs or customs from, anyway. So it actually did not throw, it threw medium, but I'm going to put it away for a bit and let it cure for a bit, maybe a few months, and then I'll revisit the Sniff My Tarts that I got and see if it performs better, because I was hoping for more than medium performance of that. As to whether, I don't know if I'd repurchase that. Like, I've got a bit of quantity there. I don't think it's a scent that I will want more of once it's done. Glitterati Blue Raspberry Lick Me All Over. So I think this is the very first Glitterati I ever tried. I've still got maybe just over half of the chunk. And this one is yeah, you know, you get, I can't remember what Lick Me All Over is, but you can definitely smell blue raspberry, and it's kind of like a icy pole or like a cordial or something. But then there's a perfume. Yeah, there's definitely a perfumey kind of element to that as well. I do enjoy it. It's not like a favourite. It's not one that I really need to get again, but I do enjoy melting it. So another one from House of Melts, Pineapple Lollies. So this, you know, it pretty much contravenes any kind of food imitation rules, because it looks so much like, and it smells so much like real food as well. Like, not that one. See, they look like pineapple lollies. And it really smells like pineapple lollies as well, just that kind of candy pineapple. I really, really like this scent. I'm sad she's closing. I'm going to have to kind of savour the last of what I've got, because when I feel like candy scents, this is probably one of my favourites. and it throws really strongly and lasts forever, and it's just great wax. Like I'm so sad she's closing. But yeah, so if I could repurchase it, I would repurchase it. I've got Pumpkin Parcel Scents 0. So this one is Moss Covered Graves and Fresh Air, I think. Now on cold, dropping the wax. On cold, I kind of get almost like a citrus vibe out of it, but I think that's actually kind of the green moss and the fresh air just kind of being quite bright and zesty. On warm, it definitely did go more into that sort of mossy type scent, but it's quite an uplifting one. Like it's not a heavy or a deep or kind of a dank scent. Like it's quite bright. So I actually really enjoyed it, and it threw sort of medium to high, somewhere between. So yeah, I really did enjoy this, and I would repurchase it. It was really nice. Next I have, so this one I just was not in my picks, but today I decided I actually really wanted to melt it. Vintage Chic Scents Piece of My Heart. So this is Satsuma Mango Sorbet topped with fresh picked strawberries and spun sugar. I really like this scent. It's I think Satsuma Mango Sorbet comes through the strongest. I don't really notice the fresh picked strawberry. I think they are there. Like it would be a very different scent if they weren't there. But it's the most detectable notes of the Satsuma Mango Sorbet. So it's just a really nice fruity blend. It was poured in June. It's always thrown strong for me, but it was particularly strong today, I thought. I would possibly repurchase it. Like I've enjoyed it. I've got a lot of fruity scents that I like. But you know, if I saw it on her site again, I wouldn't necessarily hesitate, because it's a good, reliable kind of fruity scent. Then, and I've got this melting at the moment. So Super Tarts Punisher, which is the almond blended with tobacco leaf. The almond being, it's Red Delicious Apples, Vanilla Bean Noel, and something outdoorsy. I was literally looking at it just before because I keep not knowing what the omen is, and I went and looked it up, and I already can't remember. I definitely get apples from it. And I really like Red Delicious. I prefer Red Delicious Apple as a scent over Mac Apple or even Green Apple. I think Red Delicious is my favourite apple scent. This one, look, I'm not getting tobacco leaf through it kind of strong. I suppose I would have to melt the omen on its own to sort of be able to pick that up. It's, it is performing quite strongly. I think it's died off a little bit in the last hour or so. I think I would probably play around with, she does a lot of different omen blends, and I would probably play around with a few different ones, because I think it is a good base for blending and for scents, and it is a really nice apple scent. So I don't know if with tobacco leaf is the winner, or if there'd be other versions that I would like more, but it's definitely the omen is something I want to explore more, because it is a really nice apple scent, and definitely more up my alley than a lot of the Mac apples that you get. I've got Sweet Sage Scents Blueberry, Lavender, Zucchini Bread, Vanilla Bean Noel. So this one to me was mostly blueberry and lavender. Her zucchini bread, look, it never comes on. It's not super strong for me. Like I can smell it cold. I can smell zucchini bread, but when generally speaking, when I warm her scents up, her zucchini breads up, the other notes kind of dominate. You don't get much zucchini bread. So it was a really nice blueberry lavender. I don't think I would repurchase it, just because, if I want a zucchini bread blend, I'll get zucchini bread, and I'm finding I don't mind her zucchini breads, but yeah, there are other vendors I prefer, where it doesn't kind of take so much of a back seat. I've got Tea Time Tarts Mangonada, so I did a couple of different Mangonada scents. Hers to me is more mango, like then some of the others. Like, it just smells like a really nice, fresh and sharp mango. Like a mango drink, probably more than a legit mango. It throws really well. It's been going for a while now. I might repurchase this one. It's a nice fruity scent. I've got some other fruity scents on my list from her that I prefer. But, you know, it's possible I might throw it into a cart. Last 2 scents that I went through this week. So, Empire Alchemy Wax Black Tea Oud. So, black tea, oud wood, and a hint of pipe tobacco. This one is really good. It's really intense though. Like the black tea is strong, in your face black tea, and then the pipe tobacco that's really strong as well. And there's no kind of modifier in this blend, if that makes sense. So you really have to be in the mood for heavy black tea. But I love it. I really, really enjoy it. I feel like it would go really well with a bit of fruit, and having been kind of inspired by this Swanky, the orange tea and crumpets, a little bit of orange in this would be, I reckon, amazing. Like, I might actually use the last of this cup to play around with blending. I think I've got a bit of fruit. I've got some satsuma and maybe some other stuff. Anyway, I might play around with a couple of blends on that, because I feel like just an element of fruit would take that to the next level. But I enjoy it, and I reckon I would actually probably get it again in that form, and I would definitely get it if she blended it with fruit. And then my last melt for the week, Super Tarts Neil. So this one has Fireside Ivy, Neverland Driftwood, I think fresh mint, and maybe something else. It's just a really nice fresh, slightly woodsy green kind of scent. Like, it doesn't smell super outdoors. Yeah, in some ways it's kind of hard to describe. It's almost like if you were in a room with some woodsy scents going on, but with like a breeze of green, you know, almost like a greenhouse or something. Like, I'm thinking like greenery indoors. But I don't know if that really captures it either. I don't know. Anyway, I really enjoy it. I've got another clam on the way. So yes, one I would have and will repurchase, because it performs really well and it smells really good. That is it. That is everything I melted for the week. So yeah, thanks as always for watching, and have a great weekend and have a great week. Bye.